In a picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and babbling brooks, there lived a newlywed couple named Emma and James. They were the embodiment of love's young dream, their hearts intertwined like the ivy that adorned the quaint cottages of their village. Emma was a radiant bride, her laughter like the song of a lark on a summer's day. James, her dashing groom, possessed a kind heart and a gentle spirit, his love for Emma shining in his eyes like the morning sun. Their wedding day was a joyous occasion, celebrated by the entire village with feasting and dancing that lasted long into the night. As the stars glittered overhead and the moon cast its silver glow upon the village square, Emma and James vowed to love and cherish each other until the end of time. But fate, cruel and capricious, had other plans in store for the young couple. Just days after their wedding, tragedy struck in the form of a sudden illness that swept through the village like a dark shadow, claiming the lives of many in its wake. Emma fell gravely ill, her once vibrant spirit dimming with each passing day. James, heartbroken and desperate, tended to her day and night, praying for a miracle that would spare his beloved wife from the clutches of death. But despite his fervent prayers and the efforts of the village healer, Emma's condition continued to worsen. Her strength ebbed away like the tide, leaving her pale and frail, her once bright eyes now dimmed with pain. James watched helplessly as the love of his life slipped away from him, his heart breaking with each labored breath she took. He would sit by her bedside for hours on end, holding her hand and whispering words of love and comfort into her ear, praying that she would find peace in the arms of the angels. And then one fateful night, as the village slept beneath a blanket of stars, Emma's spirit finally took flight, leaving behind a grieving husband and a village plunged into mourning. James was inconsolable in his grief, his soul shattered into a million pieces by the loss of his beloved wife. He wandered the village like a ghost, his eyes empty and hollow, his heart weighed down by the burden of sorrow. In the end, James could bear the pain no longer. Unable to live without his beloved Emma by his side, he bid farewell to the village that had been their home and disappeared into the wilderness, never to be seen again. And so the tale of Emma and James became a tragic legend in the village, a reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating power of loss. Their love, once a beacon of hope and joy, had been extinguished by the cruel hand of fate, leaving behind a legacy of heartbreak and sorrow that would endure for generations to come. Years passed, but the memory of Emma and James lingered like a melancholic melody in the hearts of the villagers. Their love story became woven into the fabric of the village's history, a bittersweet reminder of the fragility of life and the depths of human emotion. In the wake of their tragic loss, the village underwent a profound transformation. The once vibrant streets grew somber and subdued, the laughter of children muted by the weight of grief that hung heavy in the air. Each passing day seemed to echo with the ghostly whispers of Emma and James, their presence felt in every corner of the village they had called home. But amidst the sorrow there flickered a glimmer of hope, a belief that even in the darkest of times, love could endure. Couples held each other a little tighter, cherishing each moment they had together as if it were their last. Families came together to support one another, their bonds strengthened by the shared experience of loss. And yet, despite their best efforts to move forward, the village remained haunted by the memory of Emma and James. Their empty cottage stood as a silent testament to the love that once flourished within its walls, its windows dark and shuttered against the outside world. As the years went by, the village gradually began to heal, its wounds slowly but surely mending with the passage of time. But for some, the pain of Emma and James' loss lingered like a shadow, a constant reminder of the fragility of happiness and the inevitability of sorrow. And so the tale of Emma and James became a cautionary fable, a poignant reminder to cherish the ones we love and hold them close, for tomorrow is never promised, and even the strongest of bonds can be broken by the hands of fate. As the years passed, the village underwent a gradual transformation, its once vibrant spirit slowly returning as new generations breathed life into its streets. Yet, the memory of Emma and James remained a poignant reminder of the fragility of love and the inevitability of loss. The villagers, determined to honor the memory of the lost couple, erected a small memorial in the village square. A simple stone bench shaded by a blossoming cherry tree. It became a place of solace and reflection, where villagers could gather to pay their respects and remember the love that had once flourished within their midst. Each year, on the anniversary of Emma and James' passing, the villagers would come together to hold a solemn ceremony in their honor. They would lay flowers at the base of the memorial, sharing stories and memories of the couple whose love had touched their lives in ways they could never forget. But as time marched on, the pain of their loss began to fade, replaced by a sense of gratitude for the love that Emma and James had shared, and the lessons they had taught the village about the enduring power of love. In the end, their love story was not one of happily ever after, but of a love that transcended time and space, lingering like a whisper on the wind, a reminder of the beauty and tragedy of the human experience. And though Emma and James were gone, their memory lived on in the hearts of those who had known them, a beacon of light in the darkness, guiding the way forward through the trials and tribulations of life.